Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So for the makeup, before I put on anything, first thing first, I want to tell you the order of applying different makeup products is so important. And on that note, use all the cream products that you want to use and then move on to the powder products. So there are a lot of products out there these days: cream bronzer, cream blush, powder blush, cream highlighter, powder highlighter. It doesn't matter. The simplest rule is use all the cream products before the powder products. Now, are there exceptions? Yes, but this is the basic. So that's just the basic discipline here. And why? Why do we do that? So if you do it the other way around, if you think about it, you put on powder product, it's set with a powder, and you put cream on it, which tends to have oil or water. Sometimes it will mess up. It will move around the powder product that you already applied and you spend time on applying, or remove it even. It happened to me a lot. I learned from my own experience. You gotta keep in mind, just in general, always cream before powder. So after the primer, the first thing that I apply to make my skin look flawless, just make the whole face as a blank canvas, would be a foundation. There are a lot of options out there, as you know. There is a liquid foundation, a stick foundation, cushion packed. People are using, I've never used that one, but Korean people are just like going crazy about that one. Tinted moisturizer, CC cream, BB cream. I mean, the options are endless. If you have oily skin, go for something matte and long lasting, whatever the form is. Liquid, stick, tinted moisturizer, whatever it is. Just use something matte and long lasting. And if you have dry skin like me, use something more moisturizing, dewy, which would have the less coverage than the matte one. But considering the effect the makeup is going to affect your skin, it's just better go for the one that's dewy and moisturizing foundation. And if you need more coverage, then you can use other tool like concealer. We're gonna talk about that later. It's a lot. I mean, it's just the basic, but it's a lot. I don't think I can cover everything that I want to cover today in this video, but I'll try my best to make it, quick and sweet, but also have the main points. For a daily use, for me, I use a foundation that's somewhat lightweight, sheer. Sometimes I don't even use a foundation. I just use concealer on my face, just on the area that I want to cover. I need more coverage, and maybe I'll use a powder foundation over that. But for a full coverage makeup that has to last for a long time, I'll definitely use a liquid foundation. Today I'm going to use a liquid foundation for this video. I've been loving this foundation. I think okay, this is from NARS. I think NARS making great foundations for years and years and years. I like to use different brands, different products. So before I use Laura Mercier, Dior, Estee Lauder, you name it. But I think I always kind of go back to NARS, and it just never disappoint me. Never, ever, ever. This one is Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in Vienna. They also have different types of foundation, matte, long lasting, which I said would be good for the oily skin. And they also have like this sheer glowy, just doesn't have much coverage, make your skin just look like natural, like no makeup, that would be perfect for oily skin. This one is like in between, so it has like medium coverage but not so matte either. So I love this for like a full makeup. And for the application, you could use a beauty blender, which I do most of the time, and you can also use a brush like this. This is from Tiny LJ makeup brush collection. I love this. Is just the best makeup brush that I've ever used, I think. But yeah, this type of like very dense buffer brush is good for applying foundation. Both are really good. I gotta say though, Beauty Blender tends to absorb the product, so it takes more product than the brush, and that means brush will apply product more heavily than this one. So you don't need a lot of product, but you have to really blend it out nicely. I would say for beginner, Beauty Blender is a better option. I might stop using Beauty Blender though because it tends to accumulate bacteria. Yeah, you can kind of see that. Like after a month or so, you can kind of see like green spots, and it gets really disgusting. And it happens quite often. So, and it's not cheap, this one. It's like $20. So I might start using a brush actually. But this video is for beginners, so I'm going to use this beauty blender. If you have watched my video before, I talked about my video logo. You see the discoloration, just like a autoimmune disease. This is kind of weird. It's like a skin condition. The immune system attacking my skin cells, and they kind of lose pigment. Do you see the difference? Medium coverage, but almost look like full coverage. Pretty good, not bad. But then it's not like super mattifying or drying or anything. It's still pretty hydrating. But honestly, if you have really like nice skin already without many scars or like blemishes or breakouts, I recommend use foundation as little as possible, because foundation is kind of like what makes your skin look cakey. I look like a different person. Okay, pretty happy about how my foundation is applied. Now I'm going to use a cream bronzer. Since we made this blank canvas, I want to add a little bit of color to, you know, contour a little bit, to add more dimensions to my face. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. Ooh, hi. And number 1 Fair. Now, cream bronzer, is it beginner friendly? Might not be. Might not be. Maybe it's better to use just powder bronzer. It's a bit easier, it's quicker. But I'm gonna show you this anyway, because some of you might be like, oh, I want to use cream bronzer, you know. If you use cream bronzer, I think having good brushes is like necessary. It has to happen. It must happen. you must have some good brushes. It's a cream product, so you need the buffer brush that's dense, which will blend the bronzer like smoothly without moving the foundation around. Like that's the key part, because that happens. It's like so annoying when that happens. Like you apply foundation and it looks so flawless, and then you put on some bronzer with a brush, and the brush, sometimes brush does it, sometimes the product does it, but most of the time, my experience, when the brush is shitty, it happens. I don't want to shade Fenty Beauty product, but this is a brush from Fenty Beauty. This one, for some reason, I don't know if this is a foundation brush, by the way. This might not happen to you, but this happened to me all the time. When I use this to blend my contour, cream contour or bronzer, it's always leave an ugly stain because it moves the foundation that's applied before. So I really don't use this for contouring anymore. This one again from Tiny LJ. This is number 3 cream buffer brush. Since I used this brush, it never happened, so I love this. And this is another one from the same collection. This is a number 2 concealer brush. Apply the cream bronzer with this first. Mostly start from the line where my ear start hanging and then bring it down. And then my jawline, my forehead. Western people are so sensitive about the size of their forehead. I've never been. I might have big forehead, but I've never really like been so self-conscious about it. But like I've seen people, like Western people, YouTube or TikToks, like they want to cover their forehead because they think it's too big. I'm like, I think they're fine. I also like to contour my nose with this. And I like to put that color a little bit like in between, you know, where it's dent between your nose and your eyes, under your eyebrows. So to make it look a little deeper, I like to add some color there. This step is optional if you think this is not beginner friendly. Just do the forehead and your cheeks and just jawline, should be fine. I started doing this because I started watching Tiny LJ, who made this makeup brushes, tutorial videos and like short clips, and she always does this, and they just look really good. After that, you can blend it out with this. Don't push it too much, not too much pressure, then you might mess up that foundation. Push it into your skin, and this brush is so good, it's going to do the work for you. Contour nicely. What's the difference between contour and bronzing? Basically, contouring is enhancing the natural shade of your skin. Like under your cheek, there is a shadow, right? When you're doing this, there's like a natural shadow, so you enhance that. And under this like jawline, so you can make your jaw looks like sharp and more chiseled. Also, you know, the forehead, like if you want to make your forehead a little smaller, you do that. Since it's a shadow, it makes sense if you use a cool tone product, because shadow, if you think about it, it's gray. It's nothing warm about shadow, right? you just gotta go to the cool tone. And I use this bronzer in Fair number 1 because it has a little bit of that like gray tone in it. So that's what I did basically. So the placement can be a little bit different too, not just the tone. Bronzer, this is from Say and medium. This is a lot warmer than this one. Can you see the difference? This is more like cool brown, like grayish brown. This is like warm, like orangey brown. So this is perfect for bronzer. So bronzing is to enhance, like it's kind of self-explanatory, like bronzing effect. You want to give that bronzing effect to your face, like you're under the sun, bronzy sun-kissed look. So it tends to have warm tone. And the placement can be a little bit different. Just think about where you get tan the most when you're under the sun. You're under the sun for a while, you come home, you look at the mirror, you get red, like around here, your cheekbones, your forehead, right? Because that's the part that stands out, I guess. Stands out. The facial features that more like up front. And your brow bones, cheekbones, top of your nose, and your chin. Some people maybe here, if they have like very like strong square jaw. So that's where you want to place the bronzer. So it's just a little different, but don't go crazy about it. If you don't think this is beginner friendly technique, then you can just, go a little bit just forward. So this warm bronzer, I'm just gonna put it like, yeah, like up here. So it's a little above where I put the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer on. Here. It can even look like a blush a little bit. Sometimes I would not even apply any blush and just apply a bronzer and just bam. Bam. Got my nose. Bronzer definitely makes me look like I was under the sun a little bit. This one didn't give me that effect. It just gave me that more chisel look. And make sure you put some color on your ears and your neck so you look connected. So remember, I've been putting just cream product, no powder yet. No powder yet. Cream blush. Blush as well, I think powder product is more beginner friendly than cream products. But there's so many great cream blush out there and it's so popular these days. So I'm going to explain. The cream blush that I love right now at the moment is these two from Charlotte Tilbury. It's Pillow Talk matte blush wand, peach pop and pink pop. They are so pretty. Like the color is, I think, kind of unique, especially this pink pop. It's not like just pink, it's kind of like coral pink. I don't know if you can tell on the camera. It looks a lot faded in the camera. Ugh. But it's more saturated in person and it's like a peachy pink. It's so pretty. And then when you apply it on your face, it gets like kind of more pink as time goes. So when you apply cream blush, I know some people just like to go on the face directly, but I'm afraid that could move around all these products that are applied. So I'll be careful with that. I would like to use a brush like this. I know it's a little bit dirty right now. I like to go just little by little, and it's very pigmented, so just little by little. And also like think about the placement. Don't apply like too low. That's going to make your face look tired and just saggy and old, and we don't want that. So just build that color little by little. You can apply it even higher if you want. If you want more youthful look, bring it to the apple, and maybe even apply on your nose a little bit. You can apply a little like on your forehead. Oh, I didn't even use conceal my dark circles. Oh my god, but it's okay. I started using a color corrector to cover my dark circle. It's from Stila color correcting palette. So if you have like really deep color of dark circles, I recommend you use color corrector instead of using a lot of concealer. I most of the time use this one, this peachy one, and this yellow one. Sometimes I use this pink one as well to brighten. If I have like really deep color of dark circle, I even use this dark orangey one as well. But don't worry, it will be blended with other product. If this like dark orange color, it's not going to show. Nobody's going to notice. You are not going to notice. The light orangey one, see the difference is the dark circle is a little calm down. So that means I don't have to use a whole lot of concealer. For concealer, I've been using this Shiseido concealer. It's really creamy. It has skin benefits. Really great for dry skin or mature skin. And the love of my life, NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Like if you're seeking full coverage, this is great. And it's not mattifying or anything. It's still super creamy, and I don't think it's dry at all. I've been using this for a while, and I really recommend this one. If you have oily skin, this would work better than this one because this one has less coverage than this one. It's more creamy. Where I've heard Anastasia Beverly Hills has good concealer that's like full coverage, so that would be good for you if you have oily skin. And I've used Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I don't know if that's out there still. That one had full coverage, and I didn't need much really, so that would be good for you too. Same discipline. If you have dry skin, use something more hydrating, moisturizing, creamy product. Even though you have like a lot of dark circle, it's just better to go that way. Like the mattifying one, if you use that, that's going to make your skin look like a desert. So that's why I do use the color correcting stuff, so that I can use less product and creamy product, which tends to have less coverage. So today I'm gonna use this one, and to apply it, I'm going to use this fluffy dome brush. There's a fucking mosquito here. Just this much. And I didn't used to be like this. I would apply concealer just all over, but since I apply the color corrector, this is good enough for me. Instead of sweeping it, I just kind of push it into my skin. And right after that, I'm going to apply this powders. I'm gonna mix this too, and this is a different fluffy dome brush, not the same one that I use for the cream product. and this will stop the concealer from creasing. And make sure you don't put too much powder or too little powder. I'm sorry to say this, but you just gotta find the perfect middle ground. If you have oily skin, you might need more powder than the people who got dry skin. Just going to fix this, the edges, as you see. Just gonna apply a little more blush. I still have a little bit on my back of my hand, so just gonna touch up. Highlighter as well. There is cream highlighters and powder highlighters. And for highlighters, I just tend to use the powder product more, just at the end of the makeup, just do it just fast and just quick. I use cream highlighter when I do like very natural, no makeup look kind of thing. When I don't even use a foundation, maybe I'll use just some concealer, and maybe like on my bare skin, I might use cream highlighter. But just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna use a Beauty Light one, also from Charlotte Tilbury. It's like this. It's like a champagne color. I'm gonna apply that with another fluffy brush. Just gently making sure it's not going to mess up the other product. You know, maybe I'll just use my finger. Use it under your eyebrows if you want. Maybe your corner. It's very subtle. I didn't do too much. Mind you, the only powder product that I used was just for the concealer, just this area, very small area. I'm done playing with all the cream products, so let's move on to the powder products.